Hello everyone and happy Friday. Before we share my analysis from these last few days, please remember that neither I nor the SIMETRI team from Crypto Briefing are licensed financial advisors. What we provide is not a personalised investment advice. It is merely our opinions based on our various research and diligence. As always, do your own research before making any decisions about buying or selling crypto. So let's have a look at the Bitcoin update and the key technical level. So 20,000 is the key downside level to watch. Now we've broken underneath the market pivot, which is basically the 200-week moving average. If we were to move above there today and start to look comfortable above there, then there's a scenario where we move to the weekly pivot point, which was 25.2, which is the former yearly low. So that now becomes former support term resistance. If we were to break underneath the $20,000 level, I think we can quickly fall towards 16.4 and 14.3. You might remember those levels from the US election in 2020. So those were really some former pullback areas that the market bought into, and they now become important support areas. Daily price closes below $20,000. It's going to be very difficult for the market to come back. So let's have a look on the charts now for Bitcoin, and you can see we're actually breaking underneath the 200-week moving average, which is not what's happening on the crypto total market cap chart, and this is why we're holding around these current levels at the moment. So several years Bitcoin has been able to have a decent weekly close below this moving average. If we do start to close at the weekly below there and we get some more follow through, things could get very, very ugly, because this is a huge moving average for the market, and it's one of the things that I'm looking at the most. Another thing that we need to establish here is that this head and shoulders pattern is starting to break down. So we're now underneath the neckline of the pattern. We've broken underneath the former yearly low, and the market is starting to turn lower quite quickly. In terms of the target for that pattern, you've got $20,000 and 13,700. I would say those are marginal targets. So former all-time high, we're testing that now from 2018, and again that former swing high from 2019. So those would be the two areas. If the market moves under 20, we could quickly move towards that former swing high there around 13.7. Other interesting things to note: negative price divergence comes in from the United States presidential election in October 2020. You can see there MACD histogram is moving lower, but Bitcoin's moved from 9,000 to 14,000 very quickly. So that divergence might need to be around, and that's one of the reasons why I think the market could probably drop towards 12,000, and then maybe some of these head and shoulders patterns, they'll be getting near completing their targets. But that would be an area that I would expect, because this divergence has been needed to unwind for a long time, even as impossible it seemed when the market was trading at 60,000 last year. So overall, hoping for a move down towards the 13,000 to 12,000 area. I think that could be interesting for a buy. Cannot discount a rally from current levels. If we see a daily price close above 22.2, 22.3, a drop below 20,000 could cause a significant market decline to 16.4 and 14.3 very quickly. MACD divergence is present on the daily time frame. As I said, it takes time to reverse, and it's taken a few years to reverse, but it's still there. And that bearish divergence needs to go. Watch out for the hash ribbons indicator, because miners are selling and it's still very, very overbought. Okay, so let's have a look at Ethereum. Very similar to Bitcoin, this head and shoulders pattern is playing out. What I find interesting is that this kind of head and shoulders pattern is nearly moving towards its target, which is 800, but I don't think that that's going to be the bottom in Ethereum. So if we can combine that with what's going on with Bitcoin, if we saw a 13,000 Bitcoin, it's unlikely that 800 is going to be the low for Ethereum. I think it's far more likely we see a 500 Ethereum. But I just want to draw your attention to the fact that this head and shoulders pattern, the larger one there, is starting to play out and is moving near its target of $800. So that could be a minor bounce spot, but I think 500 is seeming more reasonable. If we see a $12,000 Bitcoin, so $800 is an area that the market likes for Ethereum. It's a possible target coming up, and if we were to move underneath there, then I think it could drop very, very quickly, very, very fast. So overall, Ethereum probably headed back towards 800. Watch out for a big rejection or a breakout underneath 800. A return to the lows from 2018 is certainly on the card. And thank you. I hope you found my thoughts helpful. If you'd like more, please click the subscribe button for Pro BTC Trader and join me every week on Wednesdays for our live trading war room and daily email updates.